Well, very pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to Wilder Park on the campus of West Texas A&M University in Canyon, Texas. A gorgeous Sunday afternoon as we get set for college baseball. As West Texas A&M completes its four-game set with University of Arkansas Fort Smith. WT won the first three games in this series. They won Friday night 23-5. Won game one yesterday 7-3, and game two yesterday 8-4. Trying to make a clean sweep of this one as they take on the Lions here in Canyon. And again, a beautiful afternoon. Wind is a little lighter than it's been for the series. However, it's still blowing out of the southwest in this one today. Game time temperature will be 78 degrees with the wind blowing out of the south-southwest at 14 miles per hour. Just a gorgeous afternoon, not a cloud in the sky, so we'll see how that comes into play as the day goes along. But for both teams, they have similar pitchers going today. For the Lions of Arkansas Fort Smith, it'll be the sophomore Riley Lowry. Lowry, a 6'4" sophomore from Norman, Oklahoma. He played at Carl Albert State before transferring to UAFS. And Lowry comes in with a 794 earned run average. He has appeared in 9 games but hasn't started any yet this year. He's pitched 11 and a third innings. He has allowed 10 hits, 16 runs, 10 of those earned. He's walked 19, struck out 15. Teams are batting .256 against him. His counterpart will also be a lefty today, Mason Caperton, the junior from Eunice, New Mexico, who also played at New Mexico State before coming to UT for West Texas A&M. Mason comes in with no record, but he has appeared in 6 games and he's started 3. He has an 8.18 earned run average. He's pitched 11 innings. He's allowed 15 hits, 11 runs, 10 of those earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 10. Teams are batting .341 against the left-hander from Eunice, New Mexico. As we get set for this one, and of course, the big bats in this one are put in place where they should be for today, as Matt Schilling will be in the 3 spot. And Matt, of course, and then Michael Brenton hitting 3 and 4 for the Lions of Arkansas Fort Smith. Schilling with a .279 batting average, but a .577 slugging percentage, while Michael Brenton, .243 at the plate, but a .514 slugging percentage. And for the Buffaloes, it'll be kind of that tough lineup to get through when you've got Ryan Johnson hitting second, Adam Becker third, Corey Schmidt fourth, and Will Finning in fifth. You've got Johnson batting .377, Becker .457. He sits second in the Lone Star Conference. .368 for Corey Schmidt, Will Finning .368. And so, again, you kind of got to get through those 2, 3, 4, and 5 batters. And even when you get past that, it's still kind of tough with the Buffalo Bats as they have produced quite a few runs this season. Becker, of course, .457. He's got that .884 slugging percentage. Corey Schmidt right behind him at .759. And so those guys sit atop conference statistics in the LSC this season. And so that's made a big difference for the Buffaloes. Angelo State still leads the conference as the Rams sit atop the LSC with a 28-4 record, 30-4 overall. Angelo State is followed by St. Edwards at 24-6, 26-6, their overall record. Then UT Tyler, 23-11. They benefited greatly by sweeping the Buffaloes last week. They're 23-11 overall. Then it's West Texas State, 20-11 overall, 22-11. They're in the 4th spot with Texas A&M Kingsville right behind them at 20-15. And 21-16 overall. So those are the top 5 teams in the LSC heading into today's play. Well, we want to kind of look at our starting lineups for today. It looks this way. For the Lions, it will be Dan Taylor in the DH spot to lead things off, followed by Nico Patrick, Matt Schilling. Michael Brenton in center field bats fourth. Brandon Ulmer bats fifth in right field. Noah Davis is the second baseman for this game. Jordan Helm moves over to third base as he will start there. And I said Matt Schilling, Matt will be at the shortstop position today. And so he moves over from third to short. And then, like I said, it'll be Jacob Helm playing third base. Sammy Seeger will be in left field, his first part of this four-game series, first chance to come into play. Cade Brewer will be behind the plate today. Cade started game one. And then, of course, Riley Lowry, the left-hander, who will get the start for the Lions. Riley from Norman, Oklahoma. And again, 6'4", good size, as he gets set for his first pitch in this one today. For the Buffaloes, Mike Mineta will be followed by Ryan Johnson, Adam Becker, Corey Schmidt, Will Finning, Eddie Savoy at second base, Patrick Donovan in center field. Dylan Fesperman is the DH, and Evan Leibel will be behind the plate. Both teams exchanging their lineup cards. And yesterday at the end, this is kind of interesting, yesterday at the end of the ball game, both head coaches, Matt Vanderberg and Todd Holland, were in an animated conversation, and they're continuing that now out at home plate. It's kind of interesting as they had that at the end of the game. Now, the umpires are smiling, so I don't think it's too animated, but nevertheless, both guys had whatever conversation they had at the end of the game yesterday, and they start that off today here at home plate with the umpires listening on. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so, and then we'll come back with our starting lineups for today and a look at the starting pitchers. But first, this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Bucks!
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Well, starting lineups for West Texas being introduced for this one today. For Arkansas Fort Smith, it will be Dan Taylor who will lead things off. He is the DH. Nico Patrick at first base, Willis bats second. Shortstop is Matt Schilling. He'll bat third. Michael Brenton in center field bats fourth. Brandon Ulmer in right field bats fifth. Noah Davis, the second baseman, bats sixth. Jordan Helm at third base will bat seventh. Sammy Seeger in left field will bat eighth. And Cade Brewer will bat ninth. We'll go through the WT starting lineup, but first we'll have a quick break as we get set for today's contest. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie lies
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are one part passion, one part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
And there you see the flag as we complete the national anthem, and it is coming, kind of blowing now from the west. So more from left to right than it was blowing out yesterday, straight out to left field. See how that comes into play in this one today. But the wind, again, about 15, gusting 20 to 25 as we get set for this one today. So the Buffs come in with a record of 22 and 11, while Fort Smith comes in with a record of 7 and 26. Buffs trying to earn a sweep here and take the 4-game set. And they're going to do that starting out with Mason Caperton today. The junior from Eunice, New Mexico, comes in with no record, but he has appeared in 6 games this season. The left-hander has started 3. He's pitched 11 innings. He's allowed 15 hits, 11 runs, 10 of those earned. He's walked 3, struck out 10. And teams are batting .341 against the left-hander. Caperton started his career, of course, at New Mexico State before making his way over here to Canyon, Texas to pitch for the Buffaloes. The Buffaloes in their all-black uniforms. I believe at home this is the first time we've seen this year. We've seen some variations, but we haven't seen the all-black uniforms with maroon numerals and white trim. While Arkansas Fort Smith will be in their blue pinstripes, the dark blue uniforms with light blue numerals. And getting set to lead things off will be Dan Taylor. And Dan Taylor, who has appeared in all 4 games as a DH in 3 of the 4 and played first base in the first game yesterday. Dan comes in with an average of .236 as he gets ready for his 73rd plate appearance. He has played in 24 games this season. He started 21. He has 17 hits. 5 of those are doubles. Has a slugging percentage of .306 and an on-base percentage of .371. First pitch from Mason Caperton is in there for a strike. So a good way for Mason to start off. So it will be Taylor, then Nico Patrick, and Matt Schilling, 1, 2, and 3 to start off for the Lions of Arkansas Fort Smith. Second pitch, head down the third base line. Nice stop by the head coach, Todd Holland, as he drops that one down with his hat. Reached out for it and got it corralled. So Taylor steps back in, down in the count 0-2. Caperton comes home with it, outside for a ball. So the lineup has shifted for the Lions a little bit. And, of course, some players today that haven't played. Sammy Seager batting in the 8th spot, his first game to play so far in this series. And there's a good pitch, but low. And Evan Leibel, the battery mate for Mason Caperton, shakes his head, says, yep, that's exactly where we want it. Throw it in the same place. Caperton has that one fouled off. Keeps the count at 2-2. Well, Caperton from Eunice, New Mexico, not too far from the Canyon campus, a couple of hours, a small town in eastern New Mexico. And that one just misses, and Leibel again says it's exactly where we want it. So that runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Dan Taylor trying to get on as the leadoff man for the Lions. Arkansas Fort Smith sends this one down the right field line, and that is foul and out of play. Officials for this ball game, Joe Landon behind the plate as he was in game 1. Chris Sierra is at first base, and Jeremy Nieto is over at third base. Now, the interesting thing with Joe Landon behind the plate, as this pitch comes in, And strike three, as Dan Taylor couldn't catch up to that fastball, and he becomes a strikeout victim for out number one. Again, Mason Caperton, just a good fastball outside part of the plate. And Taylor just tried to connect, just couldn't make the connection. To bring up Nico Patrick. Nico batting from the left side. First pitch swinging, sends it down to first base. And coming up, there's a quick throw over to Caperton in time by Buffalo's Corey Schmidt. So Schmidt able to get Nico Patrick on one pitch as he's retired 3-1 for out number two. Now to bring up Matt Schilling, playing shortstop today. He's played third base for the first three games in this series, moved over to shortstop today. Batting from the right side, Schilling. Batting .279. Looks at ball one. Mason Caperton coming home with it. That's going to be low. The Buffs do have a shift on. So second baseman Eddie Savoy to the left of second base. Mike Mineta deep in the hole at short, and then Adam Becker back behind third base. So the right side of the infield is available. And there's a strike. So 2 balls and a strike for Matt Schilling. So a lot of room in right center for Schilling to work with should he be able to pull it that way. Kind of a late swing, and I think that's what he was trying to do. A little inside out. But that evens the count at 2-2. Mason Caperton comes home with it and got the outside corner for strike three. So 2 strikeouts in the inning. There's no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody on base. And you watch Caperton set him down right there, got the outside corner for his second strikeout. And so the top half of the inning, no score for Arkansas Fort Smith. The Buffaloes coming to the plate. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Delicious, refreshing, Pepsi.
We know that egg producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Banker's hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe egg lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant egg lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know ag lending. We know ag.
Well, Riley Lowry gets the start for the Lions from Arkansas Fort Smith. And again, he has appeared in 9 games. This will be his 10th game to make an appearance in. Has an ERA of 7.94. He's pitched in 11 1/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 16 runs, 10 of those earned. He's walked 19 and struck out 15. Teams are batting .256 against the left-hander as gets his final warm-up tosses in. And Mike Mineta will head to the plate. Mineta from Farmdale, New York, the senior, in that leadoff spot as he has been most of the year, batting .326. And that's the thing in the lineup today, only 2 Buffaloes batting below .300, everybody else above. Mineta, first pitch shows bunt and pulls it back. So Nico Patrick at first, Noah Davis at second, Matt Schilling, the shortstop, and Jordan Helm at third base. Pitch is low for ball 2. In left field for the Lions, Sammy Seager, Michael Brinton in center field, and Brandon Ulmer in right. And Cade Brewer behind the plate for Riley Lowry. Down in the count, 2-0. That's high for ball 3. So the left-hander from Norman, Oklahoma, gets a strike on the inside corner as Mike Manetta was ready to throw the bat. He thought that was a little further inside. So Lowry comes home with it. And that is strike 2, same spot. So if nothing else, Mike Manetta knows that when he throws that inside pitch that comes way inside, right at or below the knees, it's going to be called a strike. And that's ball 4. So he'll take the walk and head down to first base. So that brings Ryan Johnson to the plate. Johnson batting .377. He's in the top 15 in the league in batting average. Even more so with on-base percentage. Here's a quick throw to first, and Manetta is back. Ryan Johnson with a slugging percentage of .516, on-base percentage of .497. That one gets away from the catcher, Cade Brewer. Runs the count to 1-1 for Ryan Johnson. Senior from Albuquerque, batting from the right side, settles in. Looks at a pitch low for ball 2. Ryan's had a good series here against the Lions. That's low for a ball. So 3 balls and a strike on the left fielder for the Buffaloes. Ryan settles in. Bit of an open stance. Manetta bluffs the run to the first base side, and that's going to be a strike on the inside corner as Ryan was about to throw the bat. So that runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The thing I said about home plate umpire Joe Landon earlier is that he and Tom Holland kind of got into it in game 1 on Friday. And that is ball 4, so back-to-back walks. And obviously the Buffs are going to take as many pitches as they can, and already Holland walking out to talk to Riley Lowry. There is action in the Lions bullpen, but I think it's a little early for that. I think he's basically, since it's just meeting the battery catcher and the pitcher, is say, don't try to be too fine. Let's just start throwing strikes and make them hit. So 2 walks have 2 runners aboard for the Buffaloes as Mike Manetta at second base, Ryan Johnson at third base. And now here's Todd Holland having a few words for the home plate umpire. And so he pointed to Tom Holland, and I'm not sure if he said, as he told the official scorer, that was a warning. Not sure if that was the case or not. So here's Adam Becker with runners aboard. Becker, first pitch is low for a ball. Becker, batting .457, his 139th plate appearance. He has scored himself 47 runs this season. Looks at a strike. Adam with 63 hits, 18 doubles, a triple, and 13 home runs, and he's driven in 53 runs to be in the top 2 spots in the league. That's high for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Becker with the tops the league by far with slugging percentage at .884. Sends this one a little looper to the second baseman, who gets it back in time to get Ryan Johnson out at first base. So a double play as Becker will line to the second baseman on a weakly hit shot to Noah Davis. And Davis stays with it, throws it to first in time to get Ryan Johnson out. So Becker is retired on a line out to second for out number 1, and Ryan Johnson is retired 4-3 for out number 2. And that brings up Corey Schmidt, who looks at strike 1. Corey's batting .368 on the season, his 88th plate appearance. He's got 32 hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, and 9 home runs. He's driven in 32. Takes a swing and comes up empty. Ball gets away from Cade Brewer, but he runs it down to keep Mineta at second base. So no 2 count on the cleanup man for the Buffaloes. Buffaloes got 2 walks to start the inning and are now down to their final out. That's high for a ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for the first baseman for the Buffaloes. Schmidt, the junior from Liberty Hill. He's got a pitch down low for ball 2. Schmidt settles in, ready to go. Will Fenning in the on-deck circle. And this is hit out to right center field. And that one is going to be off the wall. Mike Mineta will come around to score, and Corey Schmidt will motor into second base with a stand-up double. So Corey drives in a run as Mineta comes around. And this is just Corey staying with the pitch. Just a little inside out to right field for a stand-up double. So the first run of the game comes home for the Buffaloes. Mike Mineta touches. And that'll bring up Will Fenning. Fenning batting .368 on base percentage of .514. Pitches outside corner for a strike. Fenning settles back in. Will, the senior from Scottsdale, Arizona. He and Patrick Donovan both from Scottsdale. Looks at a pitch outside for a ball. And again, something said from the dugout for the Lions. So the 1-1 pitch for the right fielder for the Buffaloes. Fouled off at the plate. A little late on the swing for Mike Fenning. Senior will settle back in with that 1-2 count, hugs the plate. He and Ryan Johnson both use the very front of the batter's box. Takes a swing, and that is strike 3. And so Will Fenning strikes out for out number 3. So the Buffaloes get a run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We played an inning. The Buffs lead it 1-0. We'll take a timeout and be back for inning number 2 after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, Mason Caperton will get set for the top of the second inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning in inning number one, so he'll face, hitting in the fourth spot, Michael Brenton, followed by Brandon Ulmer and Noah Davis, 4, 5, and 6 in the lineup today. Michael Brenton comes up. Brenton, batting from the left side, settles in, ready to go, facing the left-hander, Caperton. Shows bunt, pulls the ball back. That's ball one. Brenton from Keller, Texas, played at Western Oklahoma State before moving over to Arkansas Fort Smith. 5'10" junior. Got hit on the helmet, and he's okay. He's heading down to first base. And again, this one, just as he tries to duck out of the way, hits the back of the helmet. They're going to check him and make sure he's okay. So Caperton puts Brenton aboard on a hit batsman. It's his first of the game. And that'll bring up Brandon Ulmer as they check to make sure that Brenton's okay. Their trainer comes out and then heads back to their dugout. Everybody's still gathered around, both the home plate umpire and the first base umpire, and you could kind of see Michael Brenton patting his coach, say, "Man, I'm good. Let's go." And so, and again, Tom Holland has words for home plate umpire Joe Landon as he comes back behind the plate. You can tell Joe's probably not going to take a lot today. Brenton says he's okay. Takes his lead off the bag at first. Mason Caperton comes home with it. Inside pitch misses for ball one for Brandon Ulmer. Ulmer batting .278, his 116th plate appearance. Pops this one up down the third base line, sliding underneath is Adam Becker to make the put out. So Ulmer pops up to third for out number one. Ulmer, who has been to the plate more than anyone else this season for the Lions, heads back to the dugout. That'll bring up Noah Davis. Davis, the second baseman from Bryant, Arkansas, 5'6" sophomore, his quick throw to first. As Brenton is back easily. Davis settles in, batting from the right side, takes a swing and comes up empty. Good fastball from Mason Caperton. Davis settles back in. Takes another cut with a fastball. Can't catch up to it. He's down in the count 0-2. Davis did not play in the nightcap last night, but did play in game 1. It was 1 for 3 at the plate. And apparently not everybody on the same wristband page, because second baseman Eddie Savoy and Mike Mineta are out at second base. They called time. Make sure they're both on the same page with their catcher, Evan Leibel. So they saw something that one of them knew they weren't on the same page. So the 0-2 pitch for Noah Davis is outside for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes for Davis. Batting .241 this season. Quick throw to first base. Diving back is Brenton. Davis, this is his 109th plate appearance. He has 26 hits on the season. He's also driven in 10, 11 walks, 26 strikeouts. That one's down in the dirt, gets away from Corey Schmidt as Brenton will move over to second base. So 2 balls, 2 strikes for the second baseman for the Lions. Settles back in, ready. Hit down the third base line, fouling out of play. So still 2-2 count. Davis settles in. Caperton ready to go. Inside out swing, sends it down the right field line, fouling out of play. Not a bad crowd out, enjoying the sunshine. 78 degrees. Supposed to be in the 80s here today, so it's going to be a nice warm afternoon. And got him swinging. Good fastball. That is the third strikeout for Mason Caperton. And that's out number 2. And you watch on the replay here. Just good fastball. Got him swinging about the letters. That'll bring up Jordan Helm. Helm from Wichita, Kansas, 5'9" sophomore, batting from the right side. He's going to pitch outside for a ball. Caperton checks the wristband on the next pitch. Toes the rubber, gets set, ready to go. Brenton takes his lead off the bag at second. Outside pitch misses for ball 2. So 2-0 the count on the third baseman playing today for Arkansas Fort Smith. Jordan settles in, ready from the right side, close to the front of the batter's box. Quick throw to second base. Got away from Eddie Savoy and hitting around to third and staying there, Michael Brenton. I don't think everybody's on the same page because the outfielders weren't breaking on that one. So thankfully good speed from Will Finning gets the ball back into the infield. So runner at third base with 2 outs now for Arkansas Fort Smith. 2-0 count as this pitch comes home. That's going to be fouled off and out of play. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Sammy Seeger in the on-deck circle. Helm batting .125. His 41st plate appearance this season. Outside for ball. You could hear head coach Matt Vandenberg say this is the time for a quality pitch to his left-hander. So 3 balls and a strike. And there's inside for a strike. Jordan Helm didn't agree, kind of shook his head. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at third base will be Brenton. He'll be off with this pitch. Caperton steps on the pitching mound. Toes the rubber. And got him swinging for strike 3. So Jordan Helm strikes out for out number 3. It's the 4th strikeout for Mason Caperton. And again, you watch, it's the good fastball that comes in, again, about letter high, and Helm couldn't catch up. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We have played an inning and a half. The Buffs lead it 1-0. We'll take a timeout, be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile, whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
Well, as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning for the Buffs, it will be Eddie Savoy to lead things off, the junior from Montreal, Quebec. And then Patrick Donovan will be next, and then Dylan Fesperman. So 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup for the Buffaloes. Savoy settles in. The Buffs lead it 1-0. Savoy batting from the right side. Eddie with a .288 batting average. Savoy settles in, ready to go. Sends this one down the third base line to even the count at 1-1. Savoy, his 112th plate appearance. He's got 32 hits. 4 of those are doubles, a home run. He's driven in 33. He has an on-base percentage of .375. Sends this one down the third base line, so down in the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Savoy playing second base. Usually on the right side, either at first or second. Last few games he's been playing seconds. He lifts that one out into right field, and Brendan Ulmer settles underneath. So Savoy's retired on a fly out to right for out number 1. That'll bring up Patrick Donovan.
At number 5, Patrick Donovan.
Donovan is 6'3", 200-pound junior from Scottsdale, Arizona. Played at Chandler Gilbert Community College. He and Will Fennig, both from Scottsdale. Donovan with a big cut. Off-speed pitch, and he is behind now, 0-1. Dylan Fesperman in the on-deck circle. The pitch is down low for a ball. It evens the count at 1-1. Patrick fouls this one off at the plate. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. to the junior. Patrick batting .333, on base percentage of .456. He's got 21 hits this season. He's walked 11 times and struck out 17. That one's in the dirt. Gets away from Cade Brewer, the catcher. Still action, but not very rapidly, in the Fort Smith bullpen area. Don't expect either one of these pitchers to go very long today. Lowry comes home with it and got Dunneman swinging for strike 3. That is his first strikeout of the ball game. And really, that's kind of a pitch that Dunneman chased. It was outside and low. So 2 outs for the Buffs here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up Dylan Fesperman. Dylan batting from the right side, hitting .300, looks at ball 1. Fesperman, his 51st plate appearance. He's got 15 hits. He's driven in 18. That's way outside for ball 2. Fesperman from Phoenix, Arizona, 6'4", 215-pound junior. Played at Arizona State before coming here to Canyon. Pitches inside for ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes. Fesperman. Looks at ball 4. And so another walk as Dylan will head down to first base. It's the 3rd walk given up by Riley Lowry. And that'll bring up Evan Leibel. Leibel played in the first game yesterday, and Evan had a couple of doubles in that game. He was 2 for 3 at the plate. He drove in 4 runs in yesterday's first game. Off-speed pitch is high for a ball. Evan batting .273, his 78th plate appearance. His 21 hits. Again, he's driven in 23 this season. Evan pops this one up and out of play. So that evens the count at 1-1. Evan, junior from Los Alamitos, California, or Alamitos, California, depending on your pronunciation, played at Oklahoma. And looks at a strike there. So Leibel down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The junior settles in, ready to go. It's down in the dirt for a ball. So 2-2 the count on the Buffalo catcher. Should Evan get aboard, we go back to the top of the order and Mike Mineta. Evan takes a cut, comes up empty, and he's a strikeout victim at an off-speed pitch for round number 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. And you watch Riley Lowry come home with it, and Evan Leibel can't catch up with it. That ends 2 innings of play. The Buffs lead at 1-0. We'll take a timeout and be back for the top of the 3rd after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to MediDrive Pharmacy. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to console you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly professional service and the highest quality of medicine and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your health care needs.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, we go to the top of the third inning in a 1-0 game. The Buffaloes, 1 run on 1 hit. And the Buffs have also committed an error. It's on the scoreboard. They've left 2 on. Arkansas Fort Smith, no runs, no hits, no errors. They've left 1 on base. And so it'll be Sammy Seeger to lead things off, followed by Cade Brewer, then the top of the order, Dan Taylor. So 8, 9, and 1 in the lineup for the Lions. Seeger, first pitch swinging, sends it down to Becker. Bear hands it over to first base in time. Oh, they're saying no. It was close. And Becker had to hurry because it was a bunt laid down by Seeger. And Seeger comes in with only a 105 batting average. And again, he kind of caught the Buffs back a little deep, laid down the bunt, and it was a good one. And Adam came up throwing, and it got close. But the umpire says nope. He was safe at first base, so Seeger aboard with a hit. And that'll be second base hitting over to second in time for 1, on to first in time for the putout. So Cade Brewer hits into a 6-4-3 double play. So even though Seeger got aboard, he was erased quickly on one more pitch. Again, you watch this one hit over to Mineta, on to second, to Savoy, to first. Corey Schmidt records the second out. So just like that, there are 2 outs here in the third. That brings up Dan Taylor. Taylor looks at a ball low. Taylor, who struck out his last at bat. Outside corner, and that was a good pitch. Called strike by home plate umpire Joe Landon. So 1-1 count coming up for Mason Caperton. Checks with his battery, Evan Leibel, then checks the wristband. Now he knows what pitch he wants and comes home with it. That's going to be fouled off and out of play. So 1 ball, 2 strikes for the DH in the leadoff role today. Outside pitch misses for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2. Taylor settles in, batting from the right side. Set a pitch low in the dirt, so he runs the count full, just as he did in his first at-bat, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 6'1" junior from Rogers, Arkansas, settles back in. Mason Caperton, deep breath, now comes home with it. Got him to pop up down the first base line. Corey Schmidt gives chase and lost it. That one will go foul and out of play. I think Sun got Corey on that one. See, he looked up and couldn't really find the ball. So Corey settles back his defensive position at first. 3-2 pitch from Caperton on the way. Inside, misses for ball 4. So his first walk of the day. And Dan Taylor does what he's supposed to do. Gets on board, ready to run. So 2 outs, 1 aboard. That brings up Nico Patrick, who grounded out to Corey Schmidt his last at-bat. First pitch swinging, a little floater out to second base. And there to pull it in, Eddie Savoy for out number 3. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We have played 2.5 The Buffs still lead at 1-0. We'll take a timeout and be back with the bottom of the third after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, Riley Lowry out for his third inning of work. Lowry from Norman, Oklahoma, the 6'4 sophomore, will get set to face the top of the order for the Buffaloes. Mike Mineta, Ryan Johnson, and Adam Becker on their second go-round to face the left-hander. And so Mineta, who got aboard on a walk and came around to score the first run of the ball game, batting from the left side. First pitch is in there for a strike. Mineta batting .326. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. That was a good placed pitch by Riley Lowry. So Mineta chokes up, moves in a little more, closer to the plate. Takes a swing and comes up empty, and that is a strikeout for out number 1. So back-to-back strikeouts, and Riley Lowry finding his groove. He had 2 strikeouts in the second inning and leads off this inning with a strikeout. He has 4 strikeouts in the game. Pitch is low for Ryan Johnson. Ryan also walked in his last at-bat. Good pitch is in there for a strike on an off-speed pitch. Evens the count at 1-1. Ryan was on first base when Adam Becker came up. Adam lined out to the second baseman who threw out Ryan Johnson at first. He was leading off the bag at first. That is a base hit, though, out to left field. So Ryan Johnson gets aboard. So the second hit of the ball game for either club. And that'll bring up Adam Becker.
At number 22, Adam Becker.
So Lowry gets set to face the Buff third baseman. First pitch is low. They're going to say, did he go around? And they said, no, he did not. So ball 1 to Adam Becker, who, again, lined out to the second baseman, his last at-bat. Becker batting from the right side, batting .453. The pitch is way inside for a ball. Becker settles in, batting from the right side. Outside corners called a strike. Adam does not believe it as he looks back at home plate umpire. Joe Landon says it was right at the knees. Adam thought it was quite a bit lower. So 2 balls and a strike for Becker. That's way inside for, they're saying he went around on that one. So that evens the count at 2-2. So Becker settles back in. A 2-2 count. Fouls this one off at the plate. Keeps the count at 2-2. Adam resets the batting gloves. Takes a check swing. Now we'll step back in the batter's box. Adam pretty much has the same kind of ritual every time he goes up. Off-speed pitch is high for a ball. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Riley Lowry trying to be very careful. Doesn't want anything in contact zone for Adam Becker. And that is strike 3. So Becker threw the bat back. And so he is a strikeout victim. That doesn't happen too often. Got the outside corner, according to Joe Landon, the home plate umpire. For Adam Becker, that's his 14th strikeout of the season. And 2 strikeouts here in the inning. That's the 5th. And got his hand up. This is Corey Schmidt, who's called time, and they went ahead and gave him a pitch. Matt Vandenberg, who comes out and is now, I know he's questioning a lot of these strike calls that are going against his batters. And he is very adamant with home plate umpire Joe Landon. And he's telling him he called time. So Joe Landon is going to talk to his umpiring crew. And again, the replay show, we saw the replay that did show Corey had called timeout. Right now, that is strike 1 that's in there. And again, we'll watch it again. He's getting set in the batter's box. Call has his hand up for time. And working quickly is Riley Lowry. You can't blame Riley. I don't know what the umpires are going to say on this one as they're out there in a conference, but either the only thing they can call that is no pitch for Corey Schmidt. And so because Corey did call time, he was standing, however, in the batter's box, and Riley Lowry did what you're coached to do. Go ahead and come on home with it. And the umpire called a strike. So both coaches not overly thrilled with Joe Landon behind the plate here through 3 innings today. And if they hold up the strike, you can expect Matt Vandenberg will come unglued. So after a conference with the other umpires, Chris Sierra and Jeremy Nito, now Matt Vandenberg is getting the explanation from Joe Landon. And I think what they're saying primarily is he's in the batter's box, even though he's called time. He presented himself in the batter's box. You can see Matt Vandenberg quite animated in his conversation with head coach or with home plate umpire Joe Landon. And he's saying enough, probably getting close to getting tossed here. So it is going to be a strike called on Corey Schmidt. He's down in the count 0-1. Schmidt, who settles in ready to go, looks at ball 1. So a 1-1 count on Corey Schmidt. Of course, Corey, big guy, 6'4", batting from the right side. That's one thing you say about Matt Vandenberg. He is going to stick up for his players. That's inside for a ball. There are Fort Smith fans here, too. They've been vocal throughout. It's been kind of a fun game. 1-0 our score here in the bottom of the 3rd. And that's an inside-out swing down to right field line, and that's going to be a base hit. And heading to third base will be Ryan Johnson. So Corey Schmidt on an inside-out swing for a single. And they'll bring Will Fenning to the plate. Fenning hasn't stepped into the batter's box yet. Will struck out his last at bat. Dropped that batting average to 364. So Will settles in, ready to go. Runners at the corner with 2 outs. It's outside for a ball. Fenning, the senior from Scottsdale, with that very compact delivery, golfs that one up down the third base line, and that is a foul ball. So 1-1 count on the right fielder. Fenning, who has a gun in right field too. I mean, he threw out a runner to try to get to home. That was Noah Davis the other day. Threw him out from right field. Off-speed pitch is fouled away. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's where Fenning was the last time he faced Riley Lowry and struck out in the first inning. It's down in the dirt. So heading to second base is Corey Schmidt on a pass ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both runners in scoring position now for Will Fenning. Fenning settles back in. Sends this down the right field line, and that is going to be in there for a base hit. So 1 run comes home, 2 runs come home, and Fenning will go into second base with a stand-up double. So Will Fenning drives in 2. As the Buffaloes improve their lead to 3-0. And again, right down the right field line, and just a tough play for Brandon Ulmer, who was slided toward right center field. So the Buffaloes, with 2 outs in the inning, get 2 runs to come across. That'll bring up Eddie Savoy. Eddie flew out to right field. This time he hits a base hit down into left field, and coming around is Will Fenning, and he will touch home plate. And so Eddie Savoy gets the RBI with a single to left. And that may be all for Riley Lowry. There's another run comes home. 3 runs have come home in the inning with 2 outs for the Buffaloes. Nice hit out to left field. And Seager gets the ball in, but not before Will Fenning comes around to score. And so back-to-back hits, a double and a single, have given the Buffs a 4-0 lead, So still a long conversation. Don't know if they've gone to the bullpen yet. The umpires are still having a big discussion. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not the umpires. That's head coach Matt Vandenberg. Still an animated discussion with Joe Landon. And so while that's going on, Todd Holland's staying out there talking to his pitcher the whole time. I think Will thinks there's been a pitching change. And I think this discussion, more than anything else, is the fact that Corey was in the batter's box and presented himself ready to go. So now the second base umpire's coming over to say, what are we doing here, to head coach Todd Holland. And he's asking him if he's making a pitching change or not. Now Joe London's coming out and saying, what are we doing? So they're going to wrap this big conference up on the mound. Also gives who's ever warming up in the Fort Smith bullpen more time to warm up. And Todd Holland is going to get his 2 cents in with the home plate umpire. And the Canyon Chamber of Commerce is a proud partner of WT Athletics. Canyon Chamber works with local businesses to provide economic growth for the city of Canyon. Thank you for your continued support of WT Athletics. Well, after all that, Patrick Donovan comes up. He'll still face Riley Lowry. First pitch inside, and that hits him. So Patrick Donovan, hit by a pitch, will head down to first base. And Eddie Savoy will head to second base. This one just got the back leg. And so Donovan on at first. Eddie Savoy moves to second. That brings up Dylan Fesperman, who walked his last at bat. Pitch inside for a ball. So Fesperman from Phoenix, Arizona, the junior, batting from the right side. He's the DH today, batting .300. Sends this one to the third baseman, up on one hop over to second in time for the putout. Nice play by Jordan Helm. And so Fesperman on a fielder's choice as Patrick Donovan is retired 5-4 for out number 3. But Buffaloes do get 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors, and there was 2 left on base. We have played 3. The Buffs lead at 4-1. 4-0, excuse me. We'll be back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
So Matt Schilling comes up for his second at bat of the ball game. The shortstop for Matt Schilling stepped in and then stepped out. And so obviously to agitate Matt Vandenberg more than anything else. Caperton comes back, knocks that one down, lost his glove, throws to first in time for the putout. Nice play by Mason Caperton as Matt Schilling fired that one back to him. And he retires. Schilling 1-3 for out number 1. And again, you watch this, you see the runner sliding head first into first base, but it was Caperton who had that, tried to glove it. It knocked his glove off, but he went after the baseball and threw it over in time for the putout. Outside corner is a strike for Michael Brenton. Brenton was hit by a pitch his last at bat. Brenton batting from the left side. That pitch is low for a ball. Brenton from Keller. Played at Keller High School and Hills College. Also played at Western Oklahoma State. He's a junior. Looks at a strike. Brenton, the center fielder. Batting .243 this season. Has that slugging percentage of .514 and lifts this single out into left field. Ryan Johnson will get it in quickly, but a one-out single for Michael Brenton. And I bring up Brandon Ulmer. Ulmer batting from the left side. He popped up to Adam Becker his last at bat. Takes a swing, comes up empty. Ulmer batting .276. 32 hits this season. His 117th plate appearance. Pops this one up. Let's see, Becker again will call this one and will glove it. And so for the second time, Ulmer pops up to third base for out number 2. And that'll bring up Noah Davis, the second baseman. Davis struck out his last at bat. Mason, off-speed pitch is fouled off and out of play. So Davis down in the count 0-1. Batting .239. He's 0 for 1 at the plate today. Set a pitch low for a ball. So that evens the count at 1-1. Here's a shot to Becker over at third, throws on to second base. And that gets Michael Brenton, as he is retired, 5-4 for out number 3. So no runs on one hit. There were no errors in the inning and one left on base. We have played 3.5. The Buffs lead this one 4-0. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Well, Riley Lowry comes out for his 4th inning of work. Riley so far has allowed 4 runs on 5 hits. He'll face Evan Leibel, then the top of the order, Mike Manetta and Ryan Johnson. That pitch way inside to Leibel. So ball 1 to the Buff catcher. Leibel settles back in from the left side, ready to go. Outside, that's ball 2. Leibel, who struck out his last at bat, settles in, ready to go. Takes a check swing. That's down in the dirt. He's upset. And he got fooled on that pitch. So 2 balls and a strike for Evan. That check swings down in the dirt as well, so 3 balls and a strike. So Lowry working here in the 4th inning. There's a little bit of action in the Fort Smith bullpen. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Evan knew it. Leibel settles back in. Fouls that one off at the plate. So full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes on the Buffalo catcher. Leibel settles back in, ready to go. And that is going to be way outside for ball 4. So the 4th walk given up by Riley Lowry sends Evan Leibel down to first base. And that'll be
Number 21, Mike Manetta.
Mike Manette heading to the plate. They did change the walk-up music for Mike. Yesterday's music, quite a bit different than today's music. He shows the bunt, lays it down. That's going to be a tough play. I don't know if anybody will make it. They will not. Manetta, super sacrifice to get Evan Leibel over to second base. And, man, he did a nice job laying that bunt down, and that may be all. As a bunt single for Mike Manette. And, again, he just kind of carries the bat with him, and this one the pitcher can't catch up with, and he's able to outrun that as we go to the bullpen. So we'll have a pitching change, as that will be all for Riley Lowry. And with it, a new pitcher. We'll take a timeout, be back and tell you who it is. But first, this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West. Well, the new pitcher is Trevor Johnson. He is a junior from Van Buren, Arkansas, 5'8". Comes in with an 0-2 record. Gets faced Ryan Johnson. First pitch good. Curveball in there for a strike. Ryan, who walked his last at bat. And singled his last at bat and walked his first at bat. He's 1 for 1 at the plate today, batting .382. Looks at a pitch outside for a ball. Johnson, who's pitched 12 in the 3rd inning so far this season, has allowed 21 hits, 18 runs, 14 of those earned. Junior comes home with it. That's outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Leibel at second base. Mike Manetta at first. Buffs lead at 4-0. Good breaking ball on the outside corner. Ryan didn't agree, but that one had movement all over the place. And so from the umpire's standpoint,
That looked like it broke on the outside corner. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Ryan Swinging is out on strikes on an off-speed pitch. So that's out number 1. And that'll bring up Adam Becker. Again, you watch this pitch, and again, a little bit of some break on it as well. Kind of comes in at the belt and then just kind of drops off at the last moment. So good movement, I should say, for Trevor Johnson. Adam Becker looks at a pitch outside for a ball. So Johnson settles in, batting from the right side, batting .450. Off-speed pitch got him out in front. Evens the count at 1-1. That is a good breaking ball that Trevor Johnson has. Adam Becker lined out to the second baseman, his first at-bat. Struck out his second at-bat. He's 0 for 2 at the plate. That's outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Becker settles in, ready to go. Outside pitch misses for a ball. 3 balls and a strike. Trevor Johnson looking in at the umpire, wanting to know where that missed because he thought that caught the outside corner. Becker, open stance, ready to go. Facing Trevor Johnson. Outside corners there for a strike. And again, Becker didn't see it. Shook his head. Disbelief. He's got a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes, just like he did his last at bat. That's way outside for ball 4. So that loads the bases for the Buffs. And for Trevor Johnson, his first walk.
And number 8, Corey Schmidt.
So that'll bring up Corey Schmidt, where the controversy started before. He doesn't put his hand up to call time. He settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Outside for a ball. Schmidt, who singled his last at bat and drove in a run. He is 2 for 2. Got a double and a single today. Way outside for ball 2. Is action in the bullpen for Fort Smith, so we'll see how long Trevor Johnson gets to go. Outside misses for a ball. So 3-0 count to Corey Schmidt. Bases are full. Schmidt gets ready. That's in there for ball 4. So that walks in a run as Evan Leibel will come home. Keeps the bases loaded. And Corey gets another RBI.
And at number 15, Will Benning.
Buffs lead it now 5. 5-0. That run does go against Riley Lowry. Pitches outside for a ball. And again, just credit Cade Brewer, the catcher. He's trying to frame it, but it's just outside. He tries to bring it back in. It's ball 1 to Fenning. This one hits him. Oh, and he said it hit his foot. So we're going to see they're having this big discussion out there. It looked like it hit his left knee. And I think they're called that a strike. You could hear Matt Vandenberg. And again, it looked like it hit his knee. And he is inside, obviously, the batter's box, not even close, and he called that a strike. So a 1-1 count on Will Finning. That misses outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. And you could hear Matt Vandenberg say, you need to look at the video just to see how these calls are going. That's not exactly what he said, but close to it. That time it hit him, and Will turns around and looks at the home plate umpire to make sure. So Will will get credit for driving in a run. It's his 3rd RBI of the day. He looks at the umpire to say, that one hit me too. So this time he gets to go down to first base. And that's probably going to be all for Trevor Johnson as Mike Moneta comes around to score. So that'll be it, as we'll have a pitching change. And so with that pitching change, we'll tell you who it is. But first, we'll take this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Went for a onside kick. Landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched.
Well, Eddie Savoy comes up to the plate with the bases loaded, facing Braden Ross. Braden Ross comes home with his first pitch. That's fouled off at the plate. So Savoy down in the count, 0-1. Ross, a sophomore from Charleston, Arkansas, 6'4". I saw him the other day after he came in the first game yesterday. He is just a big guy. And this is sent out to center field. Michael Brenton gets underneath and pulls that one in, tagging at third, and coming home is Adam Becker. So Adam Becker scores on the fly out to center field for Eddie Savoy. That is out number 2. That's also his second RBI of the day. And that'll bring up Patrick Donovan. Patrick, who was hit by a pitch his last at bat, also struck out, facing the right-hander. Ross has that one fouled off at the plate. So Patrick down in the count, 0-1. Outside corner misses for a ball. So that evens the count at 1-1. Donovan batting .328. Settles in to bat from the left side. The center fielder for the Buffs checks the pitcher. It's high for a ball. Patrick is the 8th batter to hit here in the inning for the Buffaloes. Buffs sent 8 in the third and 8 here in the fourth as they've got into the rotation for Arkansas. Ford Smith, the third pitcher used in the ball game. Buffs lead it 7-0. Quick throw to second base as Corey Schmidt is back on the bag. Will Finning at first base. Donovan will settle in, ready to go, batting from the left side. Pops this one up, and this is probably out of play. Yeah. Again, that one came right down, right over the fence. Got a lot of families sitting over there in lawn chairs, and so they were able to get out of the way. So, quick move by that mom with that youngster right there. She got out of the way before the ball came down. So Donovan back up, sends this one back foul again and see if it comes to the same place. That time it hits the roof in almost the same place. Keeps the count at 2-2. So if nothing else, if I was those folks, I'd move under the gazebo there. So Donovan settles in, 2-2 pitch from Braden Ross. Comes home, misses inside for a ball. Schmidt takes his lead off the bag at second. Will Finning gets a big lead off the bag at first because nobody's holding him on. Everybody takes off. Here's a foul ball, and that one is going to be, well, not caught. It was right in front of the Buff dugout, but coming over to make was Jordan Helm, and he just lost it in the sun. Couldn't find it anywhere. I'm not even sure if Helm has sunglasses on. Don't think, yeah, he does. Just couldn't see it in the clear blue sky. Again, not a cloud in the sky here, so it makes canopy kind of tough to take a look through. So 3-2 pitch on the way. Everybody off, and this one's fouled back at us again. This time it's going to probably land right on top of us. Nope, right behind us. If nothing else, Braden Ross and Patrick Donovan have a good battle going. So Ross has thrown at least 10 pitches to Patrick Donovan. Fouls that one off at the plate. So Patrick will step back in. A junior from Scottsdale. That pitch is low inside for ball 4. And so Patrick Donovan draws a walk. And that loads the bases once again. That loads it for Dylan Fesperman, who has walked and has hit into a fielder's choice. He is 0 for 1 today at the plate. Fesperman batting from the right side. First pitch outside for ball 1. That pitch is low for ball 2. Brendan Ross came in relief of Braden Johnson in the first game yesterday. Pitch is low for a ball. He came in the 6th inning. He got all 3 outs for the Buffs in that one. There's a strike on the outside corner. Vesperman turns back to the umpire and says, my fault for throwing the bat. I thought it was outside. So 3 balls and a strike. Bases loaded. Now Vesperman settles back in, batting from the right side. Sends this one down the right field line. That's curving foul and out of play. Plenty of distance on that one at the 325 mark down the right field line, but just foul of the pole. And Vesperman swinging is out on strikes and an off-speed pitch, and that ends the inning. He is out number 3. But the Buffs do get 3 runs on 4 hits. No errors in the inning. Actually, that was on 2 hits. No errors in the inning and 3 left on base. We have played 4 complete. The Buffs lead Arkansas Fort Smith 7-0. We'll be back for the top of the 5th after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
Well, now Tom Holland having a heated discussion with the third base umpire. Buffaloes get 7 runs on 6 hits as Mason Caperton comes out and faces Jordan Helm and throws strike 1. Helm batting 122 at the plate. Pitches inside for a ball. It's be Jordan Helm, Sammy Seager, and Cade Brewer, the 7, 8, 9 batters in the lineup for the Lions from Arkansas Fort Smith. Here's a shot to the shortstop. Mike Mineta comes up throwing in time to first base. And Jordan Helm is retired 6-3 for out number 1. So nice play by Mike Mineta. That'll ring up Sammy Seager, who got aboard on a single his last at bat. He got the first hit for the Lions. He dropped a bunt down the third base line, his last at bat. This time he looks at a fastball outside for ball 1. Seager settles in, batting 128. Fouls this one down the right field line, and that one is curving foul and out of play. So that evens the count at 1-1. Seager settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. That one misses inside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike on the left fielder for the Lions. Top of the 5th, Buffs lead at 7-0. That misses low for a ball. So 3 balls and a strike. Mason Caperton working here in the 5th inning. So far has allowed 2 hits. And then before that, he's calling the trainer out. I'm wondering if he has a blister. So he called time. So pitching coach Hall goes out there and takes a look. And Matt Vandenberg will also join out and see on Mason Caperton. Hey, we'd like to thank Jimmy Fincher Body Shop for their support of WT Athletics. Equally skilled at repairing damages or customizing your vehicle, Jimmy Fincher is your top Amarillo auto body. And then Journey Canyon Coffee is a proud supporter of WT Athletics. Stop in or drive through for your favorite hot or iced drink. Thank you for your continued support of our athletes. And on a day like today, where it is 82 degrees right now, probably an ice drink more than that coffee. Supposed to get up to 83, sun-splashed afternoon. So Will, or check it, Matt Vandenberg is telling the So Caperton trying to see if he can still pitch, throwing a couple of warm-ups, but they got action going in the bullpen. Caperton throws a couple of pitches, says he's okay. So I'm curious if he still kind of grimacing his left hand a little bit. Has a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Sammy Seager. Checks the wristband, gets set to go. Seager settles in. There's a strike. And Coach Holland, who was down talking to Matt Vandenberg in front of the Buffaloes dugout, he's screaming that wasn't a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's going to be fouled off and out of play. And I'll tell you what, Joe Lannon's going to be glad when this one's over today. Here's the pitch. Fouled off at the plate. Seager stays alive. Caperton still shaking that left hand. I'm guessing this might be about it, depending on what happens here. Don't know if he can go the full 5 or not. It's gone 4 1/3. That pitch misses inside for ball 4, so a walk. It's only the second given up by Mason Caperton. So still action in the Buff bullpen. Mason will get set to face Cade Brewer. Brewer, who hit into a double play his last at bat. Brewer hit it over to the shortstop, Mike Manetta, as Seager takes his lead off the bag at first. This one's fouled off and out of play. So no 1 count on the catcher for the Lions. Way outside. That's ball 1. Nice stop by Evan Leibel to keep that from going to the backstop. So Caperton throws to first. Seeger's back quickly. Seeger takes his lead off the bag, then retreats a little bit. That's inside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Caperton working here in the 5th inning. That's going to be drilled out into center field for a base hit. Quickly, Dunneman gets it in to Mike Moneta. So runners at first and second. And we'll go to the top of the order. That's Dan Taylor. So Taylor up for his 3rd at bat. He walked his last time and struck out in the 1st inning. Taylor batting from the right side, hitting .233, and before that, we're going to have a pitching change. That's going to be it for Mason Caperton, who goes 4 1/3. He's given up 3 hits today. He's walked 2 and he struck out 4. And so, but got that, whatever it was, blister or something on his left hand, he's going to come out. And we'll have a new pitcher for the Buffs. We'll tell you who that is, but first we'll take this time out. This is the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile, whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Bucks!
Well, the new pitcher is Justice Hayes, the 5'9", 155-pound junior from Arlington, Texas. He also played at Carl Albert State College. And I say that because a lot of the Lions from Arkansas Fort Smith played at Carl Albert. Justice Hayes will be going against a couple of guys he's been on the team with before. Justice comes in with a 1-0 record. He's pitched in 11 2/3 innings. He's allowed 13 hits, 9 runs, 7 of those earned. He's walked 4, struck out 8. It comes in and it has 2 base runners with 1 out here in the 5th inning. And he gets set to face Dan Taylor. Taylor, the 6'1 junior who is 0 for 1 at the plate. He also walked. First pitch is popped up. Ryan Johnson trying to get a beat on it. He lost it, but right there, Patrick Donovan has it and brings it in. So first pitch swinging, Dan Taylor flies out to center for out number 2. And that'll bring up Nico Patrick. Nico from Argyle, who played at Navarro College. 6'3" junior playing first base, 0 for 2 at the plate. First pitch swinging, and that is going to be a base hit, and that'll plate a run. No, it won't. That was not deep enough, and with the arm that Will Fenning has, he got it into Corey Schmidt quickly. So a single for Nico Patrick loads the bases. So Sammy Seeger over at third. Cade Brewer at second, and Nico Patrick at first. And that'll bring up Matt Schilling. Matt Schilling, the sophomore from Fort Smith, was a college teammate of Justice Hayes. Hayes gets ready to come home with it. First pitch is low for a ball. Schilling struck out and is grounded out. He's 0 for 2 at the plate. Got him swinging on an off-speed pitch. Evens the count at 1-1. Bases are loaded. 7-0 Buffs lead it, but Fort Smith has the bases loaded again. Schilling at an off-speed pitch. Doesn't make contact, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Schilling settles in closer to the plate. Justice Hayes checks the runner at second. That's going to be high for a ball. So 2-2 the count. Michael Brenton in the on-deck circle. Schilling sends this one past Mike Mineta, so 1 run comes home. Here comes the arm from Ryan Johnson to Becker, and that prevents another run. So 1 run has come across as Sammy Seeger comes home. It cuts the Buffalo lead to 8-1 on back-to-back hits. As Schilling, again, just a nice solid wrap between Mike Mineta and Adam Becker, between third and short. But Ryan Johnson has a really good arm, too. So he prevented anybody else from coming home. Still bases loaded. There's a strike in for Michael Brenton. Brenton, who singled his last at bat. Looks at strike 2. Justice checks the wristband and now toes the rubber, gets set to come home with it. Outside corner misses. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Michael Brenton. Brenton, who was hit by a pitch and singled, is 1 for 1 at the plate, batting .250. And takes a cut, and he is a strikeout victim at an off-speed pitch. First strikeout for Justice Hayes. And so 1 run does come across as we watch this nice delivery from Justice. And that got Michael Brenton as a strikeout victim. So 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors in the inning and 3 left on base. We have played 4.5. Buffs lead this one by a count of 7-1. We'll take a timeout, be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shim and Dillon Group for your appointment today.
So Evan Leibel will lead things off facing Braden Ross. And he looks at ball 1. Evan walked his last at bat when he struck out in the second. He's 0 for 1 at the plate. And looks at ball 2. Braden Ross, third pitcher used today by Arkansas Ford Smith. There's a strike on the outside corner. So 2 balls and a strike. Ross working quickly, throws that outside for ball 3. Still action in the Fort Smith bullpen, so not sure how long Ross, if he gets in any trouble. There's a good strike on the inside corner, so that runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it'll be Leibel as he sends this one out to left field, giving chase, and can't find it, is Sammy Seeger. And so Leibel digging for third, and he slides in with a triple. So Leibel with a leadoff triple. Good speed. And you watch this one, Evan lifts it out into left field. And again, sunny conditions. Sammy Seeger was trying to fight the sun, just couldn't find it. It bounced behind him. He gets it off the wall, and Leibel never let up. He kept running around second, and it made up his mind. He was heading to third. And here's base hit for Mike Mineta, and that'll plate another run, and that's misplayed. That goes to the wall. Mineta will keep running, and he'll stand up at third base. And my guess is that will be an error. Let's see if that's how they counted. As Mineta drives in a run. Again, Mike just launched that one out into left center field. And it got misplayed between Brinton and Seeger. So that'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Johnson looks at a strike. So they're going to say that was a single for Mineta, or maybe a double. We'll see how they score that, but he gets to go to third on the pass ball. There's an inside pitch. That's a strike. 0-2, or 1-2, excuse me, to Ryan Johnson. Ryan hugs the plate so close that those inside pitches sometimes to him looks too much inside, but it hits the inside corner. Hits the black of the plate, as they say. So 2-2 pitch, popped up. And giving chase is the second baseman, Noah Davis. He settles underneath and makes the grab. And tagging up and faking like he was coming home was Mineta. So Ryan Johnson pops up to second for out number 1.
At bat number 22, Adam Becker.
So that'll bring up Adam Becker. It's not been a good day at the plate for Adam. He's 0 for 2. Also walked and scored a run. Becker backing from the right side. First pitch looks at, it's outside for a ball. Becker sends this slam past the third baseman for a base hit. He'll head for second. That'll be a stand-up double all the way. So Becker gets a hit. And that drives in Mike Mineta. And again, this is just a solid wrap by Becker right past Jordan Helm at third. He really did have a play on that. So Becker drives in the 9th run for the Buffaloes. They lead at 9-1. 9 runs on 9 hits. Conversation with Braden Ross. It's Becker standing at second base for Corey Schmidt. Corey is 2 for 2 at the plate today. He also walked his last at bat. Corey settles in ready. He's going to pitch high for a ball. Schmidt. Set ball 2. Braden Ross. Check swing. That's going to be a tough play. Picking up the ball, throwing over to first in time for the putout. Nice play by Jordan Helm as Schmidt is retired. 5-3 for out number 2. Adam Becker moves over to second base. Will Finning, first pitch swinging, sends it out is for a base hit. And so Will Finning, with his second hit of the ball game, drives in another run. That is his 4th RBI of the game. And that'll bring up Eddie Savoy as Adam Becker comes home to score to make it 10-1. Savoy, batting from the right side, looks at a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Savoy batting 292. Looks at strike 2 outside, and he kind of knew that and steps back out of the batter's box. I think he really wanted to see if that was going to be called or not because he felt it was outside. Ross comes home with it, and that is 3 pitches. Savoy questions the call, but he is a strikeout victim. And so the Buffaloes, as we look at the replay, Ross comes home with it, or maybe not, but he got him on the outside corner, so that was strike 3. So for the Buffaloes, they got 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors in the inning. Actually, there was an error in the inning. And 1 left on base. We have played 5 complete. Buffs lead at 10-1. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Brandon Ulmer will lead off against Justice Hayes. And they call that ball 1. Kind of surprised it didn't appeal down to the third base coach's box. Or the third base umpire, I should say. Looked like Brandon had swung on that. So 1-0 the count on the right fielder. This one a slow roller hit back to Hayes. Hayes over to first base, and Brandon is retired 1-3 for out number 1. I'll bring up Noah Davis. Davis, who has struck out and hit into a fielder's choice, 0-2 today at the plate. Justice settles in, ready to go. Looks at a pitch, does Davis, that is low and inside. Following Davis will be Jordan Helm. Hayes comes home with it. That's low again. So 2-0 the count on the Fort Smith second baseman. That one misses low for ball 3. So 3-0 now the counts for Noah Davis. All-speed pitch, nicely done. That's in there for a strike. So Davis is ready. Justice Hayes is ready. And got him swinging for a strikeout. Well, I'll change that. That's now full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Davis settles back in. Hayes ready to go. This is drilled down the third base line off the dugout in front of off the fencing in front of the Buffalo dugout. So the 3-2 pitch from Hayes is on the way. Got it. Oh, just missed inside. Looked like he got him. So that's the first walk for Justice. So they'll bring up Jordan Helm. Helm is struck out and grounded out. 0-2. Jordan batting 119. Jordan looking for his 6th hit of the season. It's going to be inside for a ball. Davis takes his lead off the bag at first. Helm swinging at an off-speed pitch. That evens the count at 1-1. This is going to be popped up down the right field line and out to Will Finning, who circles underneath and pulls that one in. So just Jordan Helms is out on a fly out to right for out number 2. And that'll bring up Sammy Seager. Seager is 1 for 1 at the plate today. He's also walked and scored back in the 5th inning, scored the lone run. So far for Arkansas Fort Smith. Pitch is outside for a ball. Seager batting 128. The outfielder batting from the right side. And they're going to appeal and say he did not go around. So 2-0 count for Seager. That's drilled down to Becker at third. Over to second in time for the putout. And so Sammy Seager hits into a fielder's choice as Noah Davis is erased. 5-4 for out number 3. So no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We have played 5.5. The Buffs lead this one 10-1. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwiches with tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich is back for a limited time, just like you like it. Well, Patrick Donovan, first pitch swinging, sends it down to first baseman Nico Patrick, makes a nice play. He is retired 3 unassisted for out number 1. And that'll bring up Dylan Fesperman. Fesperman has struck out, has walked, and hit into a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 2 at the plate today. Junior from Phoenix settles in. First pitch, it's going to be low for a ball. Fesperman batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch outside corner, misses for ball 2. That misses outside for ball 3 as Braden Ross working quickly here in the 6th inning. Ross comes home with it, and that is 4 quick pitches, and Fesperman will head down to first base with a walk. So second walk for the DH. And now we're going to have possibly a pitching change here. And we are. And so that'll be it for Braden Ross, who goes 1 2/3 innings. Actually, we'll make it 2 innings. Braden gives up 3 runs on 4 hits. And so we'll have a new pitcher come in for Arkansas Fort Smith. We'll tell you who that is, but first we'll take this time out. This is Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Delicious, refreshing. Pepsi.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, the new pitcher for the Lions of Arkansas Fort Smith is Grant Schenkel, 6'1" sophomore from Van Buren, Arkansas, who played at Rich Mountain before coming to Arkansas Fort Smith. And he gets set to face Evan Leibel. First pitch is outside for a ball. New pitcher runner for the Buffaloes, Paul Whitman over at first base to run for Dylan Fesperman. Schenkel comes in with a record of 3-3. He's pitched 23 1/3 innings so far this season. And sliding down there quickly at second base. Nice theft by Paul Whitman. So he gets the stolen base. He's at second. So we watch on the replay. Here's Whitman off with a pitch, and Paul slides in there ahead of the tag. So 2-0 count on Evan Leibel. Leibel lifts this out into right center field, and that one may be gone, and that is gone. A 2-run home run for Evan Leibel. So Leibel, who tripled his last at bat, hits a 2-run homer here. Drives in 2. And again, just watch as Evan just powers this one up out into right center field, about the 385 mark. And the outfielders kind of watch that one sail over the fence. So 2 more runs for the Buffs. They lead at 12-1. Mike Mineta up at the plate. And that was funny. Paul Whitman turns around at second base and saw where it was flying, so he just started to really go with a slow jog. Mineta drives this one down the first base line, fouling out of play. So that evens the count at 1-1 on the leadoff man for the Buffaloes. That's got a strike on the outside corner. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mineta, who got a bunt single his last at bat. He's 2 for 3 at the plate. Drives this one as a base hit out into right field. Takes a big turn and then will stay at first base. So Mineta, who's got 3 hits in a row. And that may be a haul for Grant Schenkel, as he gave up a 2-run home run. And so that is it. We'll go to the bullpen and another pitching change. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Delicious, refreshing, Pepsi.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, Lucas Petrus, who started game one in this series, and he only lasted a third of an inning before being replaced. He took the loss in game one. His record is 1-3 on the season. And he comes in to face Ryan Johnson in on relief. He is the fifth pitcher used by Arkansas Ford Smith. Ryan looks at ball one. Lucas, who's pitched 25 2/3 innings, he's allowed 38 hits, 23 runs, 13 of those earned. He's walked 10, and he struck out 14. And Ryan Johnson pops this one up out into shallow center field. And coming on to get that one is Michael Brenton. That was sky high. So that is out number 2. Going to fly out to center.
And then number 22, Adam Becker.
And that'll bring up Adam Becker. Becker hit a home run the last time he faced Lucas Petrus. Looks at a strike. Hit a 2-run blast in that first ball game in the first inning. Petros and his brother Jacob both have pitched in this series. That's an inside-out swing. That's fouled off and out of play. So Adam down in the count 0-2. Runner at first base, Mike Manetta. It's outside for a ball. Adam Becker settles back in. Lucas Petrus comes home with it, and that's going to be a base hit out into center field as Manetta will stop at second. So back-to-back hits for Adam Becker. He had a double in his last at-bat, walked before that, struck out and lined down. That'll bring up Corey Schmidt. Corey singled and doubled today. He's walked, and he is grounded out to the third baseman, Jordan Helm. Corey, first pitch is inside for a ball. Schmidt has already driven in 2 runs today. He's going to pitch low for a ball. So 2-0 the count. Schmidt from Liberty Hill, played at Dodge City Community College before coming to WT. Corey looks at a strike on the outside corner. So 2 balls and a strike. Corey, 6'4", junior, batting from the right side, hitting .378. Between he, Ryan Johnson, and Adam Becker all in the top 10, top 12 for batting average. So 3 balls and a strike. Petros comes home with it. Becker sends this one skyward out into right field. And I don't think the right fielder found it, and he did not, as it was lost in the sun. 1 run comes home, 2 runs come home for the Buffs, as both Becker and Manetta come home. The Buffaloes add 2 more runs. And Becker really took off on that pitch. Just kept going, and this was a tough play, high sky, but finally coming up with it was Noah Davis. And Corey Schmidt at second base once again. So he drives in 2 more runs. Buffs lead at 14-1. There's a strike for Will Finning. Finning is singled, doubled. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's struck out. He is 2 for 3 at the plate, batting .376. Sends this one up the middle for a base hit. And that'll send Corey Schmidt home as that goes out into center field. So Will Finning gets another RBI, and that is his 5th of the ball game. And again, you watch Will on this swing. Just drives it out over the middle. And so that allows Corey Schmidt to come over from second all around to score. And that'll bring up Eddie Savoy. Savoy looks at a pitch down low. Now they have in a hot box trying to get. It's going to be safe at second base. What a break for Will Finning. Finning. They had him in a hot box. And so watch this on the replay. He stops, then makes the final step as the ball is mishandled at second base. Everybody did the right thing. They just mishandled it at second base, and Finning, who was caught in the rundown, not sure if they had a hit and run on that time with Eddie Savoy or what. Ball 1 for Eddie Savoy. Finning at second base. Hard hit down the third baseline. That's going to be fouling out of play. So that even the count at 1-1. Savoy, the ninth batter to come to the plate, as the Buffs have scored 5 runs in this inning, lead it 15-1. Savoy looks at a ball. So 2 balls and a strike on the Buffalo second baseman from Montreal. That's outside for a ball. So 3 balls and a strike for Savoy. Lucas Petros, the 5th pitcher used in the ball game. And that's outside for ball 4. So he'll take a walk, and that'll put runners at first and second for the Buffs. That'll bring up Patrick Donovan. So Patrick, so far today, still looking for that first hit. He got hit by a pitch back in the 3rd, struck out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and there's a base hit. So he'll get a hit right there. First pitch swinging. Donovan, as the run comes home for the Buffs, and Will Finning. And that makes it 16-1. And that's going to be all for Lucas Petros. Petros has allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. And so we'll have another pitching change. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
Well, the new pitcher is John Toney. First pitch to Paul Whitman is outside for a ball. Paul Whitman came on to pitch a run for Dylan Fesperman earlier this inning and now comes up to take his shot at the plate. Takes a swing at an off-speed pitch. Paul Whitman batting 100 on the season. Got that great speed. Ball looks at a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes for Paul Whitman. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Paul's the 11th batter to go to the plate. John Toney pitched on Friday night. Toney from Springdale, Arkansas, 6'2" sophomore. He's pitched 10 1/3 innings so far this season. That one misses for a ball. So 3 balls, 2 strikes for Paul Whitman. Runners at first and second for the Buffs. Toney comes home with it. And Whitman swings, and they should have let that one go. That was outside for a strikeout. So Toney gets the 3rd out of the inning. And so we have played 6 complete. Buffs get 6 runs on 6 hits. There was an error. And there were 2 left on base. We have played 6 complete. WT leads this one 16-1. We'll take a timeout. Be back from the top of the 7th after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
And get helped, get fitted, and get your questions answered, and find out about our price matching online today.
Well, the new pitcher for the Buffaloes here in the top of the 7th is Tyler Cornett. Tyler, the 6'2" senior from Shallow Water, pitched at Cameron before coming to WT. Shallow Water right down Interstate 27 from the Canyon campus. Tyler comes in with a 1-1 record. He has 5 saves on the season, 17 2/3 innings for the Buffs. He's allowed 18 hits, 12 runs, 11 of those earned. He's walked 9, and he struck out 24. And so facing Cade Brewer, who will lead things off. Cade hitting in the 9th spot. Then we go back to the top of the order, Dan Taylor and Nico Patrick. So 9-1-2 to face Tyler Cornett. First pitch is going to be low for a ball. And that one caught Evan Leibel. It's on his catching hand, so it must have just caught the fat part. So Leibel's going to go check with the trainer. And so they continue to attend to Leibel. And let's see, we're going to have a catching change possibly. That is going to be the case. So Evan will head out. And the new catcher will be Dave Jensen. Jensen, the senior from Gurmet, Netherlands. So he'll get a couple of tosses at him from Tyler Cornett. Hey, WT Athletics would like to thank Legends Canyon for being a proud sponsor of the WT student section for all athletic events. Thank you for your continued support. Also, Rayburn Reynolds has proudly served the Amarillo area for 30 years. WT Athletics would like to recognize Rayburn Reynolds for their continued support of our athletes. So Dan says he's ready to go. Or Dave says he's ready to go. Dave Jensen. And Tyler Cornett's second pitch to Cade Brewer is fouled off at the plate. So 1-1 count on the catcher for Arkansas Ford Smith. Takes a swing at an off-speed pitch, and he's down in the count 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cornett, the senior. Throws a breaking pitch that hits him. So Cade Brewer will head down to first base. See on the replay that this one got his left elbow. And so first pitch for Dan Taylor is a strike. Taylor was flown out, walked, and struck out today. 0 for 2 at the plate. Set a pitch outside for a ball. Evens the count of 1-1. Brewer taking his lead off the bag at first base. Here's a slow roller hit to Becker. Goes over to second in time for 1, on to first, but not in time. Nice job by Corey Schmidt as taken out on the play was Eddie Savoy on the relay. So Brewer is retired 5-4 for out number 1. And Dan Taylor gets aboard on a fielder's choice. That'll bring up Nico Patrick. And check out a pitch hitter for Nico, 29. Is Dakota Peters, the infielder from Van Buren, Arkansas, 6'3" junior, batting from the right side. Looks at a strike. So Dakota, batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. Tyler Cornett comes home, got a strike on the outside corner. So no 2 count on the pitch hitter. Peters settles in. Sends this a base hit right up the middle, and that goes out into center field. So Dakota does his job, gets aboard. That'll bring up Matt Schilling. So Matt Schilling comes up. Matt, who is 1 for 3 at the plate, batting .281. Had a single his last at bat, takes a cut and comes up empty. Schilling struck out in the first. He grounded out in the fourth back to Mason Caperton and then singled in the fifth. Takes a swing, comes up empty. So he's down in the count 0-2. This is going to be popped up. And that's going to be in shallow center field. I don't know that. Oh, there they do. Patrick Donovan does catch it. I wasn't sure if he saw it or not. So Donovan takes out Matt Schilling for out number 2. Runners stay at their places, first and second base. That'll bring up Michael Brenton. Brenton is 1 for 2 at the plate today. Brenton batting .248. Set a pitch outside for a ball. This is going to be driven down the left field line, fouling out of play. So that evens the count at 1-1. This is popped up out into left field, and Ryan Johnson will settle underneath and miss it. And so 1 run will come home. Here comes 2 runs. Here's the play at the plate. Not in time as 2 runs come home. Ryan had that on a routine and just, I don't know if it caught a little breeze and bounced over his head. So that cuts the Buffalo lead to 16-3. You see this one flying out to Ryan, and he just misplayed it. That is going to be an error on Ryan Johnson. And Britton will stay at second base. Bring up Brandon Ulmer. Fouls off at the plate. So 2 runs come home, cut the Buffalo lead 16-3. Pitch is outside for a ball. So Ulmer settles back in, batting .271. Pitch is way inside for a ball. Tyler Cornett looks like he's battling some control issues here just a little bit. Tyler does a nice job. Again, 9 walks, 24 strikeouts, and there's going to be another base hit out in front of Ryan Johnson. And so Brandon Ulmer with a single. So Cornett works his way. The Buffs are going to shift around on Noah Davis. Telling Corey Schmidt to play back off the runner. They're going to let him take second base. That way, Tyler can just focus in on Davis. So the 0-1 pitch, fouled off at the plate. So the 0-2 count. Misses outside for a ball. That's going to be hit to Manetta at short. Guns it over to first base in time for the putout, and Davis is retired by a final of 6-3 for out number 3. And that'll do it as the Buffs will win this one by a final of 16-3. The win will go to Mason Caperton, pick up the victory. And the loss will go to Riley Lowry, as the Buffs will improve to 23-11 and 21-11 in Lone Star Conference play. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and have some post-game interviews for you as the Buffaloes get set to head to the road next week once again. But before that, we'll take this timeout. We'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Went for
for a onside kick. Landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, welcome back to Wilder Park as the Buffaloes come away with a 16-3 win over Arkansas Fort Smith. Will Finning joining us on the post-game show, and we'll talk a little bit about this contest today. In fact, talk a little bit about this series. And I know after last weekend, you guys were just itching to get some bats going, and you guys are able to do that in the last four games anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we all got together after last weekend, and we said, you know, no more pressure, and we're going to play WT baseball, and that's what we did. I think we all stayed short, and we all just kind of stayed to our strengths, and we capitalized when we needed to.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it too, because it looks like you guys were playing, I don't want to say loose, but you were playing relaxed out there.
Exactly, yeah. You know, we talked about our energy too, and I think our dugout really stepped up and kind of just made everyone calm. And I think we played very good because of the energy. Well,
3 hits. Also had a walk and also drove in 5 runs. What were you seeing as the pitches were coming in today?
I was seeing the ball really well this weekend, and as bad as I want to hit the long ball, I really stay short because home runs come after singles. And this weekend I really just want to stay as short as possible, and I took my singles when I did, and it felt good. You know,
when I describe you a little bit, I say that you're more of a compact swing. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. Yeah. Over the years, I've really tried to make my swing as simple as possible, because early in my career I would get too big and I would get sawed off and I would struggle with the inside pitch. And as I get older, I really kind of just made my swing as short as possible so I can battle that inside pitch.
Well, the other thing, too, is you kind of scoot up as close as you can to home plate as well, so you kind of limit that inside play.
Exactly. That was my first adjustment back in JUCO. I was like, I can't hit the inside pitch, so I'm going to be as close to the plate as possible, and hopefully if they throw inside, it would just hit me. So, yeah, it was good.
Well, the finance major, also a grad student now working on his finance degree, and again, just a great game, a nice win, nice series for the Buffaloes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to build off this energy and go into next weekend with the same exact team that you saw today.
All right, very good. Will, congrats. And he said he was wearing the black, so the Buffs in the black today.
Exactly. Yeah, we love wearing black here at WT, so it felt good.
All right, well, congratulations on the win. Thanks for joining us on the postgame show. Will Finning, the right fielder, consistent right fielder, and the one thing I didn't talk about a little bit with Will, and we even saw it in this series, is the arm that Will Finning has out in right field, because he threw out a runner at the plate yesterday and kept a couple of guys short. And again, just another great athlete to have out there playing for you.
Yeah, Will's been great for us for what has been 3 years now, and he does. He shows a plus arm, and obviously threw the guy out yesterday, and then, they didn't send a couple guys today because of that yesterday and everything, and he's accurate with it as well. So he's been a good player and a good leader for us.
I know in this series you kind of mixed up the pitching a little bit, and today you got a good effort. And I don't know if there was a bit of a hand issue or what that may have been.
Yeah, Caperton did a great job for us. Obviously, he started a couple games this year, but this was by far his best start. He's a guy that came in at semester, so we really hadn't been able to see him a whole lot and everything, but he's continuing to get better, and he's not a big velocity guy, but he's able to sink it and do some stuff there, and he did a phenomenal job with the wind blowing out on a day like today. I mean, to keep him throw up some zeros there was really big for us. It really was.
And then, of course, the bats were really swinging today as well. Again, a windy afternoon, you kind of know that. But the same thing when you're looking at your lineup, and your lineup in today in particular, you had two guys that are under 300. Everybody else is at least hitting 300. And so it's a tough lineup to get through.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've said all year long I think this team can really hit it. I still do believe that, and we're starting to become a little bit shorter, use the entire field. I mean, Leibel did a really good job this past weekend of, he's a guy that's been really struggling. Another guy that came in at semester, so we wasn't able to work with him a whole lot and everything, but he's finally shortening up, using the entire field, and did a phenomenal job today.
Yeah, and Evan went out. He's okay, though?
I hope so. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. So. Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot there on that one. Well, again, you talked about, when we talked to you last, about this being a 20-game series, basically, or you're looking at the last 20 this way. And so you're taking it in chunks. This was the first 4, and you got the result you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good weekend this weekend. Now it all starts over again next weekend, and we got 16 left from this 20-game season. Listen, we're 4-0 right now, and I expect at the end of the year this team's going to have a really good record and play its best baseball at the end of the year.
Well, on the road to Oklahoma Christian, so good luck with everything coming up here in the next few weeks.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Matt Vandenberg joining us on the postgame show. His club comes away with that 16-3 win. They won all 4 games in this series, and again get set to go on the road next week. We'll be back here, of course, in 2 weeks as well. Big thanks to our Thunder Vision crew for helping to bring the pictures for today's contest. Again, Kason Johnson, who has done this entire series, done a nice job directing and bringing you the pictures of all the action here at Wilder Park. Also, Duncan Lewis, Gavin Rutherford Baca, and Delilah Adriami King for helping to bring the pictures today. And the Thunder Vision crew always doing a nice job. Buffs win the 4 games here against Arkansas Fort Smith. They get set to go on the road, and we'll be back here again in 2 weeks. I'm Bryce Sheets. Until then, the next time, right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.